Hello everyone, this is Crota giving you guys a 2v2 matchup here on Turtle Rock. Game 1 in this series is gonna be a human and undead matchup against, let me go ahead and smash, you know what, the game is gonna go by fast enough most likely, so it's gonna be human and undead versus undead and orc. I am gonna keep ally colors on just because it is easier for me to keep track of the action. And I would try and describe the players' names to you guys, but all of them decided to use names that were different than their actual names, making it rather difficult. So if you guys enjoy high-level WarCraft 3 2v2 action, as I know many of you guys do, a lot of you guys have been actually messaging me on Facebook asking me, where are the 2v2 replays? Well, here is a set of 3 games. I don't know if it's a best of 3 or a best of 5 or just 3 games they randomly decided to play against each other. But here are some 2v2 games. Now, what's interesting about 2v2 games is the fact that the action is much faster paced. Why is that? Because the standing armies are larger. By having a larger army earlier on in the game, what that allows you to do is take out your opponent's bases that much faster. If you have more damage potential, you can actually destroy them much more quickly, as we see some beautiful pathing coming in by that peon. It is going to end up delaying this Archmage attempting to clear out this Ogre Warrior creep camp. Meanwhile, the Blade Master has just made his way out, gonna be dropping double healing salves, has a clarity potion and speed scroll, and we'll see how he uses that. Coming across, the Undead is, I believe, a little bit behind in getting up his Death Knight, as he opted to go for a Crypt Fiend graveyard opening first. Meanwhile, coming back across over here, you can see that the Death Knight is going to be popping out here in just a moment as well. Both players getting their undead heroes a little bit of a late start, more for the yellow team than the pink team. Archmage now running around in a circle as the Blade Master trying to chase down that Archmage. Blade Master is a rather fast hero, but the Archmage and Blade Master are currently both boots of speedless, making them giving them the same movement speed. Coming back around, you can see the Crypt Fiends are going to try and engage here, take down this Ogre Warrior creep camp, as we are looking at the yellow Undead playing a little bit of catch-up to the pink Undead. Alright, Claws of Attack +6, we'll see how good the teamwork is between these two players here. Is that Claws of Attack +6 going to be given to the Blade Master? I would assume so, as the Blade Master is a very, very damage-dependent hero, needing those Claws of Attack +6 and those Gloves of Haste. Coming back around, you can take a look. The Death Knight grabbing a Gloves of Haste off of that creep camp. Blade Master looking to come in here and perhaps get the kill steal off. Gets 1 kill steal and may be able to get perhaps a giant sea turtle as well. Alright, Footman attempting to take down the Blade Master. Blade Master taking a bit of damage. As you can see, this poor Footman trying to get away. Down to 25 hit points. Blade Master will get that kill easily there, as he is now halfway to level 2. Coming back down over here, you can see that the yellow Undead player gonna finish up this creep camp down over here, which will end up giving him level 2 on the Death Knight. Unholy Aura on the Death Knight does benefit the army, as the Archmage is now just shy of level 2, as the Blade Master stole the last creep there. Meanwhile, the Death Knight of the pink team going after the Ogre Magi creep camp, pulling that Ogre Magi into the main walkway here. Very, very important, as he now uses a Scroll of Town portal to head back home. Death Knight will be forced to do a bit of retreating here, as a whole bunch of skeletal minions are attempting to take down the Acolytes as they are mining. This is a very, very crucial stage in the mining process, since you do not want to lose any Acolytes while you are upgrading to Halls of the Dead. If 1 or 2 Acolytes were lost, that would be a significant blow to the economy or to the tech of the Undead. Meanwhile, coming back across over here, you can see that the Death Knight now clearing up this Ogre Warrior creep camp. Gonna finish off this Ogre Warrior here. No very good items though, as a Troll Trapper gets an ensnare down. Alright, it looks like this is really more of 2 1v1 games going on at the same exact time instead of a straight up 2v2 matchup. both sides pretty much trying to come in here, trying to disrupt the other opponent. You can see that the Undead versus Undead is coming down over here. Meanwhile, the Archmage is going to clear out this creep camp here, getting to level 3. And who is going to come out ahead? The Death Knight is already down to 115 hit points and losing a lot already, as you see a Death Coil go down onto those Crypt Fiends. Alright, we see 4 Crypt Fiends, but a whole bunch of skeletal minions could turn things around rather quickly. The Death Knight may try and take down those skeletal minions for some easy experience now. Since the Death Knight does have that unholy aura, he's able to catch up to them. Meanwhile, let's come across down over here. Oh, this Death Knight should be getting the Death Coil off onto that Crypt Fiend. Yes, he does get it down. And meanwhile, we can see that the yellow Undead player doesn't have a Rod of Necromancy. That is going to severely hurt him, as the Death Knight needs to get a Death Coil off on his low hit point Crypt Fiend as well. Alright, let's go ahead and take a look. Death Knight now wandering forward. What is going on here? Yellow, even though that did look yellow, that is in fact a pink Undead skeletal minion, as the Gargantuan Sea Turtle now going to get creeped out. Blade Master making his way over. The Death Knight here does have 2 claws of attack. We'll see if that is going to get transferred to that Blade Master. There they go, and now we finally see a bit of teamwork coming in from the pink army. Meanwhile, Undead still looking to get to level 3 on the Death Knight. Archmage is sitting at level 2 and looking very strong right now, but it doesn't really feel like the human players doing all that much. Alright, Blade Master of the pink army creeping out the orange creep camp, which is normally for the yellow side, and may be able to pick up a very, very nice item. And let's take a look. The Death Knight currently sitting on a Wand of Mana Stealing. The Blade Master picking up a Wand of Mana Stealing as well. If that is given to the Shadow Hunter, that is going to be a... Wow, the Shadow Hunter all of a sudden getting a whole bunch of items. And that is a Pendant of Energy and a Wand of Mana Stealing, double Clarity Potions. So the Shadow Hunter is going to be able to keep this army alive for quite some time. Shadow Hunter needs to be careful though, does not want to take too much damage while creeping, as the Blade Master is running around and could easily get some easy damage onto some water elementals and some unsuspecting footmen. Paladin now out on the field over a Mountain King. Interesting, as we may finally have our first 2v2 battle. No, gonna go ahead and finish up this creep camp instead first. Let's take a look. A bit of a Frost Nova steal there. Nicely done, getting that 68 bits of experience from, I believe that was a level 3 or a level 4 creep. Let me double check. It is a level 4 creep, yes. Getting that experience all right there. Death Knight is currently only seen on 1 charge of Wand of Mana Stealing. Perhaps he used it earlier. Meanwhile, the Shadow Hunter still has plenty of mana. Also using that Clarity Potion and is still regenerating that there. Meanwhile, back over here, oh, this could be a 2-on-1 fight. No, it is not a 2-on-1 fight. One giant sea turtle going to get taken down here. There it goes. The Death Knight now trying to make its way in. Is that Gargantuan sea turtle going to fall? Yes, it will, but it goes to the Orc army. No steal there, as we are now looking at a bit of a fight once more. Healing Wave now going down. The Shadow Hunter is still with plenty of mana. 238 mana with that Clarity Potion and rising, as we're looking at a rather large fight. Archmage Paladin against and with a Death Knight and a Lich against a Death Knight Lich, Blade Master Shadow Hunter, as this 2v2 battle is gonna work or rage on. So far, looking at the Undead army, the Undead army is trying to piece themselves together, trying to get in position there. The Blade Master now making its way in. Crypt Fiends are now coming in as well. And this army is just gonna get into a better spot. I was gonna say the yellow army was actually looking a bit better position, but now the pink army has very good position. Instead, the Archmage now comes in from behind and is now accidentally blizzarding his own units. Gonna have to reposition himself here, and now we see that the pink army is actually stuck in between 2 armies here. This is not going to be good at all. There's a Death Coil saving one of the units. Archmage needs to break up that blizzard once more, as we see a Hex now go down onto the Archmage. The only real stun available. Militia now going to end up falling here. There goes 3 Militia very, very quickly, as we're still looking at a bit of a push. Alright, this fight, the Militia not doing nearly as much as you would have thought, as the Blizzard, forcing a Scroll Town Portal on the Archmage, actually a little bit early. Not quite sure why, and now the Undead is going to actually end up losing a lot more. He is not using a Scroll of Town Portal to head back out, and he's going to end up losing a lot of units. This is not looking good for the Undead at all. Let's take a look at it. 34 over 50 supply with 40 over 60. The Yellow Army is looking a bit behind right now. And with no Mountain King for the stun, the pink army can just back off and retreat in peace. 44 over 50 for the Orc. Meanwhile, let's take a look. 50 over 50 for the Undead of pink. And yes, my eyes are not deceiving me. We are in fact seeing pink with a much larger army and much better positioning. Alright, Archmage will really have to lay down a lot of blizzards and get them very effective if anything is to happen. The Shadowhunter should quickly get off a Hex. No, a Silence instead from the Dark Ranger. And I believe the positioning on this fight is just no good. Riflemen are forced to engage against the Grunts. Crypt Fiends are in the back, able to engage with no normal damage being put on them at all. I don't see any abominations, any knights whatsoever, and these Crypt Fiends are just absolutely wrecking everything with their superior range. So far, Raiders are now trying to engage here. We can see Frost Armor on the Paladin. He is very, very well defended right now, but I don't think he's going to be able to survive off of this fight unless he gets a potion of healing, and I believe that is going to be the GG right there. All right. Pink easily taking game 1. Awake and Pray and HX taking game 1 in this series. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Please stay tuned for game number 2.